Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide and the last video of the year 2023. And what a year it has been. So I wanted to give you my top 5 and the worst 5 list of e-ink related developments, things or news in the year 2023. And the order in which we're going to go through all of this is going to be backwards. So let's begin with the highs. And on the 5th place, as the 5th best thing that has happened in 2023, I would have to say that it is the type folio for the Remarkable 2. Now, some of you may go, what? I am talking about the hardware itself, the engineering itself and the design itself, how it's been made. The hinge system and all of it and the quality that you actually get, and yes, it's overpriced, and yes, the implementation leaves a ton to be desired. The type folio itself as an engineering product, it is a significant one, and especially the hinge system and how it works and how it complements the whole platform. I think it was a really interesting, innovative and a good addition, and as such it deserves place number 5. Unfortunately, I don't have to change my device that I'm holding in my hand for the 5th place of the lows of 2023, because that would be also remarkable. The update quality of the Remarkable as a platform in 2023. So in 2022, Remarkable has had quite interesting and important updates that have actually upgraded the platform, and it remained focused, and they were very useful additions to the platform, maintaining the focus and integrity of the platform that it is. However, in 2023, that was simply not the case, as I've checked out in the recap of the Remarkable, and the video to that you can find over here if you haven't watched it. But yeah, for all of those reasons, that's why Remarkable is actually on the 5th place of the lows as well. Now back to the highs, and in place number 4, it would be the Boox Ultra C. This is the Ultra C Pro that I'm holding in my hand, but not the Ultra C Pro. It was the Tab Ultra C for me. Why? Well, because it had a lot of innovations and it tried to do something different, and it achieved something different. Many products tried something different, but Tab Ultra C was the first one that actually had a nice combination of the color, the BSR, the keyboard and everything. It managed to kind of somehow meld together into this new type of a product that offers something new in the e-ink world. And of course it has a lot of disadvantages and things like that, but as such it is something new, and that's why it's in place number 4. And in this case as well, when I'm going to the lows, or the 4th worst thing that has happened in 2023 e-ink related, I don't have to change the device because it's books related, and in this case it would be basically Boox's out of control frequency of device releases. Boox has released 8 new devices in 2023 alone. An e-ink world, an e-ink market, is a niche market. And I think that that's just way too much, especially if you take a look at the Tab Ultra family and the Tab Ultra C, because Tab Ultra C was replaced by the Tab Ultra C Pro, the one that I'm holding here with the pogo in the back, after only 7, 8 months of its existence, and there was no reason to do that. Yes, it's faster. There's no justification for Boox to continue in this direction, because the innovations that are actually brought to the table are not good enough and not important enough to justify such fast obsolescence of devices that are put out to the market. So in my opinion, I believe that Boox has demonstrated quite a bit of irresponsible behavior by actually, releasing so many devices and creating very new, very relevant devices obsolete without any need, or there's no point to do that. That's why Boox's out of control release schedule in 2023 is the 4th worst thing that has happened to the e-ink world in 2023. Now we're in the top 3, and in the 3rd place as the 3rd best thing that has happened in 2023 for the e-ink world would be the Supernotes update 2.9, yes, 2.9, where they have actually introduced the ability amongst other, but this one was super important and super innovative, which is that you can load a hyperlinked PDF file, a massive hyperlinked PDF file like the MDO that you can actually find on mydeepguide.com/shop. You can load that document, which is like almost 1800 pages long, and it has over 11,000 hyperlinks. You can load that as a template of a notebook and maintain those hyperlinks throughout, effectively creating a 1,800 pages big notebook with 11,000 hyperlinks all interlinked and maintained, and the device can actually handle it. It doesn't crash or anything like that. You can use it, and you can then make use of all of the insanely good tools that the SuperNote already has, and they continue improving in the notebooks themselves. That was an important milestone, and as such, I believe that it deserves spot number 3. Now on to the third worst thing that has happened in 2023 and e-ink wise, and that would be, unfortunately, the Lenovo Smart Paper. Why do I say unfortunately? Well, because this device has so much potential. The hardware of it is absolutely fantastic. The manufacturing it is fantastic. There's so much potential here, but it has been woefully let down by two things. The software development side of things, really bare. But we're kind of used to that with the Remarkable and the Kindle Scribe, so we know that some customers are actually going to accept that if you don't really push them too far. But Lenovo Smart Paper did, and they did it by every single thing that you would want to use is behind a paywall, completely artificial and brutal paywall. And I do not understand for the life of me the decision to basically just destroy an otherwise extremely optimistic and potentially excellent platform, because it writes excellent, it feels excellent, the hardware is excellent, all of it is just awesome. And then it gets like a chokehold with really simple software, and then a complete, whack its head off with the business decision to paywall everything that users might be interested in, and then have the goal to actually market it as for students. Yeah, too bad. That was actually a big disappointment. I'm actually quite sad about that, because I would have wished to have seen this device actually kind of soar and live up to its potential, but yeah, didn't happen. All right, we're getting there, and we are now at the place number 2. So the second best thing that has happened in the e-ink world in year 2022, in my own personal opinion, is the release of the Books Note Air 3C. Now, why is it an important one? Well, I think it's an important one because it strikes a really good balance of an already good platform. They didn't kill off a very popular platform, which is the Note Air, and they have actually improved it with meaningful improvements, right? So all of the stuff that has been added is actually meaningful and purposeful, and therefore it makes sense, and as such, it creates as a whole package a really good device. But yet again, I don't have to change what I hold in my hands, because the second worst thing that has happened in the year 2023 e-ink world-wise would be also books related, and in this case I would have to say that the books screen refresh or books speed refresh, whatever it's called, the BSR thing, the battery life implications regarding the BSR technology, they are a really bad thing, because we now have e-ink devices actually performing battery-wise the same as regular OLED or LCD devices, and in some cases worse battery life than the regular OLED and LCD devices. And that is basically effectively eliminating one of the main advantages and selling points of an e-ink screen. Of course, not the most important one, but it is one of them. It is something that e-ink devices are associated and have been associated with for years. But the BSR technology effectively eliminates that completely and changes that in the negative direction. Yes, what you get is excellent stuff, excellent benefits from BSR, but I believe and I maintain that this is simply not efficient in implementation of their BSR GPU, because there is absolutely no reason whatsoever why these devices would not have at least one refresh mode that completely bypasses and disables the BSR GPU. And therefore, you would have a conscious choice and the best of both worlds, which is, I want my battery life to last a long time. I don't care about the ghosting. I'm fine with it. Therefore, I'm going to use this refresh mode, and then I will have 80 or 100 plus hours worth of continuous reading time on my Note Air 3C. Whereas instead now we have not even half of that. And for place number 1, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and I'm gonna give you the lowest of the lows for the year 2023, and that would be, I don't have it in my hands, and that's because it was the lowest of the lows. That would be the BigMe Galley. It was supposed to be a very important product because it was the first commercially important product that utilized the Gallery 3 screen. However, what BigMe did was fundamentally misrepresent and misunderstand the Gallery 3 panel and technology, and then implement it and try to sell it and market it as something that it's not and that it physically can't do. Because Gallery 3 screens are super slow. That's a fact. But what's their benefit? Well, they have genuine, real color ink cells as opposed to the passive color matrix that Kaleido 3 panel actually has. And that's a very, very important distinction to make. And I firmly believe that if some of the producers had actually created a product that showcased the strengths of the Gallery 3 panel, that then we would have had a different story. Unfortunately, BigMe decided to actually put the Gallery 3 screen into a regular Android 11 tablet full on with cameras and everything. And they have doctored up and photoshopped marketing images that were showing the colors as they were not and things like that. And of course, people were understandably very much so disappointed, myself included, to such a degree that I just sold it off, and I have zero regrets. But that's not Gallery 3's issue. That is a BigMe problem because they fundamentally misunderstood what that technology is about. And I think that was a missed opportunity, and I think that it is a setback for Gallery 3 development of the technology. So that's why it's number 1 in the lows of 2023. And now we come to the big one, which is the best thing that has happened in e-ink wise in 2023. Well, while it's still a little bit early, and maybe I will recant this and maybe change it a little bit later if something drastic or dramatic kind of develops over the coming weeks. But so far, everything that I can see and feel and test and use points to Supernote A6X being the best thing that has happened to the e-ink world in year 2023. This thing is just absolutely awesome, and I'm still in the process of testing it, and I'm not gonna reveal anything too much, but I'm just surprised. More I use it, more I get surprised by how many tiny things and details, how much work, how much testing, how much effort actually went into creating something that is just as complete as this is and focused, and it just makes so much sense. It is absolutely phenomenal. So if you're interested in learning more about the A6X2, there's no review yet. I'm still in the process of reviewing it, but you can actually check out the unboxing video, which is an hour video where I show, well, my first impressions and the unboxing of the Supernote A6X2. Well, okay, I hope that you liked or found it interesting. And to close off the year 2023, I wanted to share just a little bit of my personal side. And here is my personal top 5 moments or things that happened to me personally in 2023. On the 5th place would be that I was able to find and acquire a older synthesizer that I was on a lookout for years and years and years and years, and to finally be able to find one in a really good condition, that it works properly and all of these things. And I'm talking about the Waldorf Microwave XT. For those synth nerds, you'll know why I'm gushing about that one. For those who don't know, well, I'm not gonna be kind of yabbering about that, but it's just a personal thing that meant a lot this year. On the fourth place would be the growth of the mydeepguide channel, all the way up to 52,000 subscribers and well over 1,000 members on the Discord channel, and the Discord community actually being very lively and engaged and all of these kinds of things. And also all of you guys giving me so much support with the mydeepguide platform and being so engaged in the comments and yeah, the kindness and everything. It's an awesome thing and an important one for me, so thank you. Number three would be I was able to, not for the whole year, but towards the end of the year, I was finally able to, in October, November and December, to kind of rearrange my time to get my weekends back without working. And that was a big deal for me, because for many years I didn't actually have any weekends, and I was just loading more and more workload on my shoulders, which, as we all know, can't end well. So I kind of started to instigate some changes, and that resulted in me starting to get my weekends back. Now, that's not strictly true. Now it's Saturday. I'm recording this and I'm going to be editing it. So not completely there, but starting to get there, and that's a big one for me as well. In the second place would be, of course, moving to a new house and having the room for the new studio, which is an amazing change for me to be able to actually just get into this room where everything is already set up, do the recording, and then go back into the editing room and studio and everything and just finish all of that. That is such a huge change that I can't even begin to describe. And it's a much healthier environment. So I'm very happy about that. But the number one thing absolutely for me would have to be the milestone that this year my partner and I, Nadia and I, have marked 20 years of being in our relationship. And you know, as big and important things go, well, you know, that's a pretty big one. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your wonderful support, kindness, inspiration, and perspectives that you share on mydeepguide. It really deeply inspires me and motivates me to do an even better job, to never back down on any of these things that we're covering on mydeepguide. So here's a clink, imaginary clink to you. I wish you best of health, and I wish you lots of happiness, love, and everything good in the year 2024. Have a great new year. Have a great holiday season, and see you in year 2024. Bye.